G'day guys, welcome back to No Man's Sky, and we have our second new expedition of the year, which is called Relics. If you ever wanted to be a paleontologist, then this expedition is for you. There are some good rewards on offer, including this new stone body armor and this new staff. It also brings some new gameplay, and now you can collect fossils and make custom exhibits for your base. Whether you're a new player or a seasoned veteran, this video will show you how to quickly and efficiently achieve every single milestone and breeze through the expedition. Anyway, I hope you find this guide helpful, and if it does help, please give the vid a like, and if you enjoy the content, maybe even subscribe to see more. Thank you, I really appreciate it. Now first, as always, I highly recommend you make sure your PvP is turned off in the settings, and if you're not playing with friends, turn off multiplayer as well. Okay, let's head on up to the Anomaly. If you start the expedition up here at the expedition terminal, you can take a ship, your multi-tool, and some resources with you. Once you open up the terminal, you can load up your supplies. You can bring up to 8 items of tech and 24 items in your inventory. I'd suggest bringing all the basic resources you usually need to survive, and some fuel for your ship. You really don't need to bring much for this expedition, but here's a checklist of some items that will make life a little easier. I would recommend you bring some exosuit expansion upgrades if you have them spare, as we have a lot of stuff to collect on this expedition. You can always bring something to sell for credits and something to turn into nanites, but you don't need these, and I'll show you how to find more than enough of both. I do always recommend bringing a fully upgraded ship with you. It's just a quality of life thing, mainly for inventory space, and the extra warp range certainly helps. There's a little bit of combat in this expedition, so bring a multi-tool if you want to have your preferred weapon. And don't worry if you're new or don't have anything to bring. The expedition will give you almost everything you need, and I'll show you how to easily find everything else. I'm a bit of a relic myself, so who better to help you find old bones?
User initialization sequence complete.
Now once you load in, spend a little time gathering some basic resources as you make your way in the general direction of your ship. Collect all the usual things like oxygen, carbon, sodium, ferrite, and so on. Now make sure to scan everything. There are 3 separate milestones for scanning creatures, plants, and rocks. Keep an eye out as well for copper deposits and mine a good supply, as you will need to refine some into chromatic metal later. Along the way, eliminate 10 hazardous plants and you can collect your first milestone. I saw this old fella looking hungry, so I gave him some creature pellets and he followed me home. Adopt a companion, and not only do you get a friend, you'll also get your next milestone. Also interact with 5 memory stones on your travels and you can collect your next milestone. You can make creature pellets from carbon, so make a few and take the time to feed some of the local wildlife. Put your nose in the dirt and pick up 20 dung samples for your next milestone. When you have at least 5 animals feeding around you, whip out the old camera and take a pic to share with strangers on social media. After all, you don't want people to think you just like the dead animals. Take a picture and you can collect your next milestone. This reward gives you a fishing rod and some lures, so if you're not bringing a rod in your multi-tool, you will need to make one for a later milestone. When you have enough resources, head to your ship and jump in the seat. You'll be contacted by this guy, who has obviously spent too much time in the sun, but he will want your help. Join the Galactic Paleontology Society and geek out over bones for your next milestone. The reward from this one will give you a refiner for your backpack and also plans for a signal booster.
Technology recharge.
Next, select the Exhibition Admission milestone in Phase 1 and enter your build menu and build the signal booster. Interact and select the Scan for Ruins option to find an old temple. Hop in your ship and fly to the location. Jump out and scan the ground around the buildings, and you're looking for 3 artifact fragments. These will give you the keys to unlock the artifact crate. Tunnel down and collect the keys, and then use them to open the crate.
Technology prepared. Technology prepared.
And you can collect your next milestone. Now I don't know about you, but that was pretty hot work with all that digging, so head to an ocean and have a swim to cool off.
Units received.
Continue scanning the creatures, and soon enough you'll have done 10, and you can collect your next milestone. While you're here in the water, don't forget to keep scanning plants and rocks. Scan 10 rocks, and you too can be a rock hound. Now if you want the Nanites to collect your ship and multi-tool in the next system we go to, keep scanning the creatures on this planet and make sure you get all of them. It's worth a whopping 3,500 Nanites. If you save your upgrades as well, you can sell them and get your 5,000 Nanites, no worries. Now you're rich, jump in your ship and head for the space station. Before you go inside though, make sure to mine a good supply of tritium from the asteroid field nearby. You will need it for fuel, as there is a lot to visit in this expedition. When you're ready, head on into the station. Head up to the shopping terminal and you can sell the treasure you got from the ancient crate, and now you have credits to go with your Nanites. Next I headed upstairs to the ship upgrade dealer, and I sold all my upgrades to get the rest of my 5,000 Nanites for the Anomaly later. Now this is important. If you're not bringing your ship through at the Anomaly, you will want to spend some of those Nanites on some warp upgrades. Any warp upgrades. There's a long way to travel between milestones, and you'll thank me for this later. Okay, let's make some warp fuel, and I only need enough to get to the next system, as I'm going to collect my ship from the Anomaly. If you don't have the Nanites yet, go to one of the other planets in this system and scan some more creatures. It's pretty easy to do.
Technology recharge.
When you're ready, select the Dig 1 milestone and then head into space. Open up your galaxy map, and as you can see, it's a long way to the next objective. But all we need to do is go to the first system in the route so we can pick up our gear and ship, and this will make travelling between stars a hell of a lot easier. So select the first star and warp to the location. When you arrive, call in the Anomaly and head on inside. Go to the Expedition Terminal and you can make a copy of your ship and your multi-tool and collect all your gear. Okay, so head back into space and open the galaxy map. And as you can see, I can now get there in just one jump because I brought a good ship. This will save you a lot of time and warp fuel. Once you get there, look around for the objective icon and head to this moon. Look for the dig site. It has some tents and some bones and lights at the middle. Go and talk to this dude and show him your artifact. He'll be impressed and he'll give you the next milestone. Now select the Junior Field Agent milestone. Jump in your ship, head back into space and look for this moon. It's the one with the ancient bones. Head to the moon, land anywhere, and use your scanner to find the bones. Don't forget to keep scanning plants for the milestone as well. Go and dig up the fossils. And then go and interact with the eye that you see around these sites. As you can see, it says clearly, disturb the eye. So follow the instructions and get ready to meet the Guardians. Now apparently he's not too keen about being woken up and brings a friend to try and kill me. And they almost succeeded. But defeat one of the Guardians and collect the Do Not Disturb milestone. Now I'm in a bit of trouble here and I've lost all my shields. And like any good traveller with the IQ of a rock, I decide now is the perfect time to press my attack. Tried to get a little bit of distance between us, but that didn't work out either. So it's down to old school. We'll stand and fire at each other and see who dies first. And before I could put the final burst into him, he teleported. And thank the Atlas, I think I could be one shot away from dying here. Anyway, continue to dig up the bones, and you can see here on the bottom right all the pieces you need to get to achieve the next milestone. And keep waking up and fighting the Guardians, because you know, we didn't learn our lesson the first time. But if you're good enough to survive and defeat 5 Guardians, you can collect your next milestone. Now I do recommend that you hold on to all the bones you collect to help with later milestones. Don't throw any away, you will need them. Another advantage to bringing an upgraded ship with you is you have a lot of storage. Once you've collected all the parts of the skeleton, you can head back to your ship. Head back into space and go back to the moon and the dig site where you met the Gek. Land at the camp and you can collect your Junior Field Agent milestone. Now refine some ferrite into pure ferrite. Make at least 150 as you'll need these for the skeleton exhibits. Then enter your build menu and build the Avian exhibit. Interact with the terminal and construct a skeleton. You just need a skull, a torso, wings, lower limbs, and a tail. Once you've finished admiring your creation, package the exhibit and you can collect the ancient Avian milestone. That's also the end of phase 1, so don't forget to collect the milestone. Now just a quick game tip, you can take the exhibits you created and even some of the bones with you back to your main save when you complete the expedition, so be sure to pick them up if you wish to take them with you. Now select the Dig 2 milestone and head back into space, open your galaxy map and warp to the location. Once you get there, look for the dig site icon on this planet. Land at the camp and go on over and speak to my mate Jarvie. He will want you to help find some more fossils for him. Agree to give him a hand and you can collect your next milestone. Head back into space and look for this planet with the ancient bones. Now land anywhere and same as last time, use your scanner to look for more bones and more plants. Once you scan 15 plants, you can collect your next milestone. Now keep collecting the fossils until you see in the bottom right that you have all the parts you need to make the next skeleton. Then jump in your ship and head back to the Dig 2 site on this planet. Land at the location, get a promotion, and collect your next milestone. Now enter your build menu and build the biped exhibit. Interact with the terminal, and again you need to construct a skeleton. After you check it out, package the exhibit and you can collect the Bygone Biped milestone. Now select the final milestone in phase 2 and use the scanner to find a buried cache. They're not hard to find. Open it up and you will get a data record. Go into your inventory and put your cursor on it and you will see one of the options is to analyze data. And if you look down the bottom right, we've collected 1 of 5 of the buried data. So repeat this another 4 times and you can collect your next milestone. That's also the end of phase 2, so don't forget to collect the milestone. Now select the Dig Site 3 milestone, go into space and open up your galaxy map, and warp to the location. Look for this moon with the dig site. And again, land at the camp. Go up and talk to this little fella, agree to help him out, and you can collect your next milestone. Now this moon has ancient bones, so you don't need to go to another planet. I will warn you though, it's very cold, so make sure you have enough resources to fill your hazard protection and your life support. I brought what I needed, so I'm good to go. And same as before, collect the fossils until you have all the pieces you need to make the skeleton. Once you have them, return to the dig site. Now you are a senior field agent, you can collect your next milestone. And same as before, build the exhibit and make your skeleton, and you can collect your next milestone.
Thermal protection falling.
Okay, now select the living fossils milestone, and we need to catch a type of bonefish. You only need to catch one, but there are 2 types, and each type is found on a different planet. So head into space and look at the planets, and the first one I saw was the toxic planet. There is a water planet in this system that you can go to as well. Head for the ocean and look for a good spot in reasonably deep water. Apparently 50 units is plenty. And you got 50 bionic lures from one of the previous rewards, so you may as well use them. Now if you're having trouble finding a bonefish, here are the coordinates where I caught mine. You can see the depth was just under 50 units, and after about 14 casts, I caught the legendary bonefish. Catch the fish, and collect your next milestone. Now select the arm for a leg milestone. Head on up to the space station and go visit this new trader, which is out the back. And basically all you need to do here is trade 3 of your bones to get 1 of his. Make the offer and the trader does a little dance. Probably because he got a gullible traveller to agree to a 3-for-1 deal, I guess. At any rate, he'll give you your next milestone. This is also the end of phase 3, and don't forget to collect the milestone. This reward will give you the new multi-tool. And I gotta say, this looks pretty cool in my humble opinion. Next, head into space and select the Dig 4 milestone. Open up your galaxy map and warp to the location. Head to the dig site at this planet. We'll need to be careful, this one will obviously be no laughing matter. Land at the camp and speak to old mate over here and collect your next milestone. And you can also collect another milestone for a job well done. As I mentioned earlier, you need to hold on to your bones. I got this milestone automatically because I did this and I already have the parts to make the next exhibit. I don't need to go to another planet and find any bones for the milestone. Now you should have the parts already, but if you don't, I recommend you write the name of this system down or refer to this video for it. And this is so you can come back here and complete the milestone. The issue is, the planet with the bones in this system is a water world, and after a fair amount of time searching it, it became abundantly clear to me that the bones here are not worth the time and effort in finding them. It will be heaps quicker to jump ahead and collect the bones somewhere else, and then come back here to complete the milestone. So if you don't have all the parts you need yet, head to the planet with the bones at the 5th dig site system. And I just want to mention one more time, don't get rid of your bones. Later on you'll also need to sell a ton of them to get one of the last milestones. Anyway, I think most of you will have the bones already if you kept them along the way, so it's time to build your next exhibit. Assemble the skeleton and you can collect your next milestone. Okay, the next milestone we want to achieve is the Archaeologist. And for this one, we need to have mined a total of 80 fossils. Now, as I said, the planet with the bones here in this system is a water world, and that's definitely not where I want to be looking for another 40 of them. Instead, select the Dig 5 milestone in Phase 5 and warp to the location. Now select the Archaeologist milestone from back in Phase 4. And look for the planet with the bones in this system. It's the ringed one. If you do this milestone now, you'll have the parts for the next exhibit. So kill two birds with one bone, so to speak. Land on the planet and again, start searching for the bones. Don't work kidding about the dust, but at least you can see how many more you need to collect in the bottom right hand corner. Now do you a favour and save you from watching a riveting half-hour episode of Fossil Collecting with Shirty. Instead I'll just say, collect 80 bones and you can collect your next milestone. Now we may as well finish Phase 4, so go ahead and select the deeper underground milestone. And have at it with your terrain manipulator and make some new underground caves. Remove 3500 cubic units and you can collect your next milestone. Now select the next milestone in Phase 4, Hearty Stock. We need to build a nutrient processor and you should have all the ingredients you need already. Build the processor and let's do another episode of Cooking with Shirty. And today I'm going to share with you a secret recipe that I learned a long time ago travelling in the outback as a young fella. You know, before I became a space explorer. And this is a great survival tip if you ever get lost exploring the galaxy. You can cook the bones of your companion that died before you and make a tasty, nourishing soup to keep you alive. So let's put some bones from our faithful companion Micro, chuck it in the processor, and we can cook it down into some softened marrow. We need a couple of marrow, so I just used some of the bones that I'm carrying. Once you have two marrow, put them back in the processor and they will combine to form a tasty bone broth. Collect your next milestone, and thanks for watching Cooking with Shirty. In next week's episode, Gek. Do they really taste like mangoes? Okay, enough mucking around, let's get on with it. So jump in your ship, fly into space and call in the Anomaly. Head on up to the grill and speak with Cronus and give him a meal. I gave him an Australian delicacy, grazer skull. And as they say, bon appetit, mate. And he must have loved it, because he gave me the next milestone. And that's the end of Phase 4, so don't forget to collect your milestone. Now select the Dig 5 milestone, fly back into space and look around for this planet, and head to the dig site. Land at the camp, go and have a chat with the Gek dude, and collect your next milestone. And you may as well collect another milestone. We just got the Master of Bones milestone because we collected all those bones on the previous planet, and we already have the parts for the skeleton. Okay, build your next exhibit. Make a new skeleton. And you can collect your next milestone. Okay, select the final milestone in Phase 5. And head back into space and go to the space station. Head up to the terminal and you can start selling bones until you get 2.5 million worth of credits. Become a multi-millionaire and collect your next milestone. And that's the end of Phase 5. Don't forget to collect the milestone. Also don't forget to collect the big gold icon and collect the expedition milestone. And that's the end of this expedition, so grats on becoming a master bone collector. All we have to do now is go back to the Anomaly and we can complete the expedition and claim our rewards. And go over to the expedition terminal and load up anything you want to take back with you. And if you want to make a copy of your multi-tool, so to give you 2, make sure it's equipped before you end the expedition. And when you're ready, end the expedition. Once you're back on your main save, go up to the terminal and you can collect all your gear, and you can also make a copy of the new multi-tool. And finally, head on over to the Quicksilver Dude and you can claim your expedition rewards. Now as always, I just want to say a huge thank you for watching and appreciate you sticking around, despite my numerous attempts at adding some humour. I really hope this guide helps you get through the expedition easily and efficiently, and most importantly, you have fun doing it. Please give the vid a like and maybe even subscribe if you enjoy the content. I do really appreciate it. Thank you. Take it easy, travellers, and hope to see you again soon. Cheers, guys.